If you are over 50 years old and your strategy to lose belly fat is still walking every day hoping for a flat stomach, I need you to stop for a second, because here is the mistake almost no one explains to you. Walking burns calories, yes, but it does not send the right signal to your body to preserve muscle, activate deep metabolism, and reduce stubborn fat, especially in the abdominal area. From a certain age on, the body responds less to repetitive cardio and more to intelligent stimuli, movements that involve strength, stability, and hormonal activation without punishing the joints. Today you are going to discover 3 specific, safe movements endorsed by health professionals that activate more muscle mass, increase caloric expenditure even at rest, and clearly outperform walking when the goal is to lose fat without losing strength or energy. And pay attention, because at the end I will show you an extra movement that almost no one teaches, not because it is dangerous, but because it is uncomfortably effective. It improves posture, protects the back, reactivates the deep core, and can change not only how your abdomen looks, but how your body feels every morning. It is not magic, it is physiology well used, and once you understand it, walking stops being your main plan and becomes just a complement. Walking is not the villain of this story. Let's make that clear before someone gets offended and closes the video with wounded dignity. Walking has benefits. It improves circulation, clears the mind, helps you move more. Perfect. The problem begins when, after 50, walking becomes the only exercise you do and you also believe that is enough to keep you strong, slim, and functional. That is where things go wrong. Because the body, as the years go by, does not respond the same way to gentle and repetitive stimuli. If you do not give it clear reasons to preserve muscle, the body does what it knows how to do best: save energy. How? By getting rid of muscle. And less muscle does not just mean less strength, it means a slower metabolism, worse balance, more fragility, and belly fat that clings on as if it were paying rent. It is not your fault, it is basic biology. Without active muscle, the metabolism goes into low consumption mode, and a slow metabolism is the perfect ground for abdominal fat to stay, even if you walk every day, with discipline. That is why so many people say, "I walk every day and I don't lose my belly." It is not bad luck, it is an incomplete strategy. And no, we are not talking about turning you into a bodybuilder or lifting weights as if you were 25. We are talking about functional muscle, just enough to protect joints, stabilize the body, improve posture, reduce the risk of falls, and, along the way, activate a metabolism that actually burns fat even when you are sitting. More muscle is not aesthetics, it is elegant survival. More muscle equals faster metabolism. Faster metabolism equals less belly fat. And walking, by itself, does not send that signal to the body. It never has, and after 50, even less. This is where the part almost no one tells you comes in, because it does not sell as nicely as "go out and walk 30 minutes. The instructor you are watching, 64 years old, more than 27 kilos lost, did not change his body by walking more, he changed it by walking less and moving better. His transformation came from simple, controlled, and safe movements, designed specifically for older adults, that activate large muscle groups without destroying knees, back, or shoulders. Movements that told his body, this muscle stays, and when muscle stays, the metabolism wakes up. That is why he insists so much on the general instructions, and not out of whim. Wearing athletic shoes is not showing off, it is stability, it is joint protection. Doing 12 repetitions per exercise and 4 sets is not punishment, it is the minimum effective stimulus to generate real adaptation. Consulting a doctor is not fear, it is basic intelligence if you have gone years without training or have any prior condition. And doing all the movements, not just the ones you like, is the difference between visible results and continuing to say, "This doesn't work." There are no shortcuts or isolated miracle exercises here. There is a simple system that works because it respects how the body ages and how it responds to the correct stimulus. If you keep walking, perfect, but as a complement. If you keep trusting only in walking, I'm sorry, but you are betting against your own metabolism. And that one, believe me, always wins. Movement 1. Wall push-ups. Let's go with movement 1, and no, do not underestimate it just because it has no machines, plates, or people screaming in the gym. Wall push-ups seem harmless, until you understand what they really do in a body over 50 years old. This exercise activates arms, chest, shoulders, and upper back at the same time, a combination that many people lose over the years without realizing it. Why does this matter? Because those muscles are the ones that keep you stable when you turn quickly, when you trip, when you react to avoid falling, or when you simply push something heavy. Balance does not come only from the legs, it comes from coordination between the upper body and the core, and this is where this movement becomes pure gold. By pushing your body against the wall, you force those muscles to work together in a controlled and safe way, sending a very clear signal to the brain. This body is still strong, it still responds. And when the brain receives that signal, posture, stability, and confidence when moving improve. It is not just strength, it is bodily security, that feeling of not living in fear of losing balance. Many older people do not fall because they are weak, they fall because their body stopped practicing these basic push and reaction patterns. This exercise brings them back without punishing joints, without impact, and without absurd risk. Now, the real beauty of wall push-ups lies in their scalability, and this is where it shows that this is a well-thought-out exercise and not a fitness influencer whim from a 22-year-old. If you are just starting, you position yourself closer to the wall and reduce the load. Your body learns the movement, activates the correct muscles, and gains confidence. If you already have some strength, you step a bit farther away, increase the angle, and, magically, the exercise stops being easy. The same movement, the same pattern, but more demanding. That is intelligent training. And watch out, because the farther you are from the wall, the more the shoulders and upper back work, key muscles to keep you upright and avoid that hunched posture so common with age. Here the goal is not to exhaust you until you shake, the goal is to stimulate, repeat, and let the body do what it does best when it receives the correct stimulus, adapt. That is why this exercise, although simple, has a huge impact on daily functional strength. It makes you stronger to open heavy doors, get up from a chair, carry bags, or react quickly if you lose stability. It does not get likes, it is not spectacular, but it works. And if there is one thing I have learned, it is this: the exercises that truly change bodies after 50 tend to be boringly effective. Do them well, do them consistently, and this movement alone already starts to change how you move, how you stand, and how you trust your own body. If you want spectacle, go to Instagram. If you want results, start here. And yes, I tell you this because I want you to gain health and strength, not to keep wasting time on exercises that only tire you out and build nothing. Movement 2. Heel raises. This is where many raise an eyebrow and think, seriously, that? Yes, seriously, and precisely for that reason it works. Heel raises are one of the most ignored exercises after 50, and at the same time one of the most decisive for stability, safety while walking, and fall prevention. Here is the uncomfortable truth: even though we walk every day, the calves and ankles almost never activate enough to actually become stronger. Walking is repetitive, automatic, and with very little range. It does not require the ankle to work through its full range nor the calf to generate real strength. The result? Lazy ankles, weak calves, and a brain that starts to distrust balance. And when the brain does not trust, you walk more rigidly, more slowly, and with more fear. This movement attacks exactly that problem. By consciously raising the heels, you are training the muscles that act as your shock absorbers and balance sensors. They are the first to react when you trip, when you step wrong, or when the ground is unstable. Without them, the body arrives late to the correction. With them active, the body responds before the fall happens. That is why this exercise not only strengthens, it re-educates the nervous system, and that is one of the reasons so many people feel that they walk better the very same day. It is not suggestion, it is recovered neuromuscular control. Now, execution is what separates those who improve from those who do the movement, and that's it. If you are starting, the seated version is perfect. It is not cheating, it is intelligent progression. From there, you raise the heels, squeeze at the top for 1 second, and lower slowly, with control. No dropping yourself as if the floor owed you money. The controlled lowering is where much of the benefit happens, because it teaches the muscle to break, not just to push. And breaking well is key for stability. When you move on to the standing version, use a chair only for balance, not to push yourself as if you were cheating on an exam. The weight should be on your feet, not on your arms. As you go up, feel how the calves work. As you go down, feel how the ankles stabilize. This movement, done correctly, improves circulation, reinforces tendons, and restores confidence to your step. It will not leave you exhausted, but it will make you more solid, more secure, more connected to the ground. And that, after 50, is worth gold. Because walking is not just about moving forward, it is about doing it without fear. This exercise is not spectacular, it does not sell t-shirts, but it changes the way you move in real life. And when an exercise makes walking feel safer the very same day, it is not a coincidence, it is because you are training exactly what you had neglected for years. Do it consistently, with control, and your body will thank you every time you put one foot in front of the other. Movement 3. Sitting down and standing up. If I had to choose just one movement to maintain independence after 50, it would be this one without thinking twice. Sitting down and standing up, or as I like to call it, standing up like you mean it, is not just any exercise, it is the foundation of daily life. Every time you get out of bed, off the couch, out of the car, or off the toilet, you are using legs, glutes, hips, and core at the same time. The problem is that, over the years, many people stop training this pattern consciously and start to compensate. They push with their arms, swing, hunch over, or lean on the first thing they find. That is where the silent loss of functional strength begins. This movement strengthens exactly the muscles that prevent that: strong legs to push, active glutes to stabilize, mobile hips to move without stiffness, and a core that keeps the body aligned. It is not aesthetics, it is autonomy. When this pattern weakens, real difficulties appear. Getting up becomes harder, you move with fear, and the risk of fall skyrockets. And the most dangerous thing is that it does not happen all at once. It happens so slowly that you get used to it, until one day you cannot get up without help. This exercise trains the opposite: confidence, real strength, and control of the body in the real world, not on a machine. The magic of this movement lies, once again, in its intelligent progression. The easy version, using a chair, is not for weak people, it is for intelligent people who want results without injuries. You sit down in a controlled manner, without letting yourself drop, and you stand up using your legs, not your arms. Each repetition teaches your body that it can still generate strength from the bottom, that it does not need tricks or momentum. As you improve, you can lower more slowly, pause for 1 second before standing up, or reduce the help of the chair. The difficult version, without a chair, is already another level. It involves total balance control, coordination, and integrated strength. But pay attention, this is not about doing it fast or impressing anyone. It is about doing it clean, stable, and with intention. This exercise strengthens the core in a way that many floor of exercises never achieve, because the core was born to stabilize you while you move, not to do endless crunches. In addition, it trains the ability to react. If you lose balance while lowering, your body learns to correct. If you hesitate when standing up, it learns to push with confidence. That is why it is one of the most important movements for fall prevention. Not because it makes you stronger in the abstract, but because it makes you more competent in real situations. People who master this movement not only stand up better, they walk better, react better, and live with less fear. And that changes everything. It is not an exaggeration to say that this exercise decides how long you remain independent. You can have walks, stretches, and cardio, but if you cannot sit down and stand up with control, your body is losing a key battle. Train this movement and you are investing in something very simple and very powerful, continuing to be in charge of your own body. And believe me, after 50, few things pay off better than that. Extra movement, the final secret. Here comes the extra movement, the one that is not usually taught because it is not pretty, it is not comfortable, and it does not give instant dopamine, but it is the one that truly wakes the body up. This exercise was left for last for a very clear reason. It brings everything above together into a single brutally effective stimulus. Stronger legs, a more stable back, a core solid like a block, and yes, a direct signal to the body to start letting go of belly fat. Why? Because when you lower with your legs a little wider than shoulder width and stay halfway through the range, without going up or down, you force your body to activate everything that is normally turned off. The leg muscles enter survival mode, the back learns to hold you upright, and the core lights up so you do not collapse. There is no impact, no bouncing, no absurd risk, but the physiological message is crystal clear: this body needs to be strong. And when the body receives that message consistently, it responds. Not overnight, not with miracles, but with something much more valuable: real adaptation. Here you are not training only muscle, you are training tolerance, control, and mental endurance. Because yes, holding an uncomfortable position reveals something important: how much strength you lack, and how much you can recover. That is why this exercise has such a deep effect on people over 50. It does not take you to the floor, it does not demand explosiveness, but it reactivates the entire system. Even a single second counts. 5 seconds is already progress. 60 seconds is excellent. Not for ego, but because to get there your body had to reorganize itself on the inside. And here comes the part that almost no one explains well: this movement does not seek to tire you out, it seeks to wake you up. Done consistently, the legs come back to life for the brain. You start to feel more stability when walking, more firmness when standing up, and, curiously, less unnecessary tension in the lower back. Why? Because when the legs do their job, the back stops compensating. The core, by staying active during the position, becomes more efficient, not more bulky, but more useful. And a useful core means better posture, better breathing, and a metabolism that starts to work the way it should. Here is the connection with belly fat that many do not want to accept. Fat resists when the body is weak. When the body feels strong, stable, and capable, it changes its internal chemistry. You do not need to sweat like crazy, you need to send the right signals. This exercise does exactly that. That is why it is so powerful even though it seems like just standing still. In fact, standing still under tension is one of the oldest and most effective forms of training. And the best part, it adapts to any level. Today it can be 1 second. Tomorrow 2. Next week 5. Progress is not heroic, it is silent, and that is why it works. If you do this movement consistently, not only do the legs wake up, your relationship with your body wakes up. You stop feeling it as fragile and start feeling it as reliable. And when you trust your body, you move more, you slouch less, and, without realizing it, you start burning more energy throughout the day. Not because you did cardio, but because your body started functioning again like a body that is used. This is the final secret, not because it is mysterious, but because it is uncomfortably effective. And like everything that truly works, almost no one does it. You decide whether you keep walking in circles or stay still long enough for your body to change. Before anyone thinks these movements are too simple to work, let's make one thing clear: simplicity is not weakness, it is precision. Each one of these movements was chosen because it targets a specific loss that occurs with age. Wall push-ups are not there to build arms, they are there to recover the ability to push, stabilize the shoulders, and coordinate the upper body with the core. That coordination is what prevents you from losing balance when you turn, when you react late, or when you try to stop a fall. Heel raises are not a decoration. The calves and ankles are the first balance correction system, and when they are asleep, the body reacts late. That is why walking becomes unsafe even if you walk every day. The movement of sitting down and standing up is directly a test of independence. If you lose it, you start depending on furniture, supports, and people. And the extra movement, the isometric one, is not there to tire you out, but to reteach the body how to hold itself under tension, something modern daily life has completely erased. Together, these exercises do not train isolated muscles, they train functions: pushing, stabilizing, reacting, standing up, and holding yourself. And when you train functions, the body responds globally. You do not improve only in the exercise, you improve walking, standing up, carrying things, and moving with less fear. That is the real value of this routine. It does not prepare you for the gym, it prepares you for life. The extra value, and pay attention here because almost no one says this, is that these movements also re-educate the brain. Each well-done repetition tells the nervous system, I am still capable. And that changes everything. When the brain trusts the body, it reduces rigidity, improves posture, and allows the metabolism to function better. That is why people who do this routine consistently not only feel stronger, but looser, more secure, and, curiously, with less pain. Pain often does not come from an injury, it comes from a body that stopped being used the way it should. In addition, these movements have something key: they are cumulative. You do not need to exhaust yourself, you need to repeat them week after week. Progress is not heroic, it is silent. 1 more second in the extra movement. 1 more repetition when standing up. A little more control when lowering the heels. That is what wakes up the muscle, speeds up the metabolism, and makes belly fat start to give in. Not because you burn fat, but because the body stops feeling weak and stops clinging to unnecessary reserves. This approach works because it respects age, joints, and the reality of normal people. And if something truly hooks you, it is not the promise of a fast change, it is feeling that you regain control over your body. When a person notices that they walk more steadily, stand up more easily, and get tired less in their daily life, they no longer need external motivation. They continue because it works. And that is exactly what makes this routine worth it. It does not depend on infinite willpower, it depends on body logic. If you keep doing what the body understands, the body responds. Simple, effective, and for once, sustainable. And before finishing, I need you to understand something important. This routine by itself is already enough to start changing your body, but the real result does not depend only on the exercises, but on the consistency with which you use your body throughout the rest of the day. There is a silent factor that almost no one mentions, because it does not sell as a fitness secret, it does not look like training, and it does not deliver spectacular results in a week, but it is the one that makes the real difference between aging with strength or aging with fragility. It is a simple habit, repeated day after day, that you see in people who reach their 80s or 90s walking steadily, with good posture, solid balance, and energy for daily life. It is not privileged genetics. It is not luck. It is a way of moving, of using the body, of not letting it rust. When that habit is present, muscles respond better, joints feel more secure, the metabolism cooperates, and even the mind stays clearer. When it is missing, everything is harder, even if you exercise. That is why so many people train and still feel weak or stiff. The body does not only need stimulus, it needs consistency and respect for how it was designed to function. And here comes the uncomfortable but necessary part: this does not work if you put it off. Knowing it does not help. Understanding it does not help. Saving the video does not help either. The only thing that changes anything is starting. That is why I asked you to write in the comments, "I start today." Not as cheap motivation, but as a conscious decision. Because not starting today does you no favors. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when you have more time or more desire. Time does not accumulate in your favor, and the body does not reward good intentions. It rewards small actions, repeated and sustained. Subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and activating the bell is not an empty gesture. It is the way to not return to the chaos of contradictory advice, extreme routines, and empty promises that made you waste time before. Here we are not playing at feeling young, we are training to remain capable, to get up on our own, move with confidence, and live without fear that the body will fail. If you made it this far, it is because you can still do something about it. And that, believe me, is already a huge advantage. Small things, done consistently, always win. But only if you start. Today. Your body and your health will thank you for it. Thank you for watching this video and see you soon.